Welcome to Go For It, Sis, the podcast created to empower women with unfinished God given business. I'm Michelle Hardy, a devoted wife, loving mother, and passionate host, here to share my journey of overcoming spiritual abuse and discovering the freedom that comes with faith and surrender. Through pep talks, heartfelt conversations, and spiritual encouragement, I'll help you break free from fear, past wounds, and self-doubt so you can boldly pursue your divine purpose, experience true love, and step into the fullness of your desires. Sis, it's time to stop holding back. Let's do this together. Go for it, sis. Sis, being impulsive does not work, okay? And in this episode, I am going to give you actual strategies on how to operate intentionally and get specific results. So you definitely want to listen in because this one is going to help you. So here's the problem with impulsive behaviors, right? Impulsive behaviors, which many of us have them. Ask anybody who, like me, on their way home will pop into a TJ Maxx or a store and not even looking for anything, but just deciding to have a little retail therapy, will go ahead and buy a couple of things just because, right? Like no rhyme or reason to it, but just because I felt like it. But here's the problem with impulsive behaviors. First of all, recognizing that impulsive behaviors is something that is subconscious. Like we don't recognize that we actually have it until we focus on it and look at the behaviors, look at the patterns that we have. And once we realize that we have impulsive behaviors, it's easy to see why we don't get consistent results, why sometimes we can't move forward and we keep getting stuck because we don't have consistent evidence to justify or to even build trust about some of the decisions that we make, why it gives us unpredictable outcomes, right? We're not able to make predictions about how certain things are going to go because, we're just kind of like shooting from the hip. And here's a big one. It really does keep us feeling overwhelmed because we don't have consistency, and not having consistency allows you or doesn't allow you to have, again, consistent results, right? So these impulsive behaviors are not a good thing. I know for me as a teacher, or when I was a teacher, I had to do lesson plans. And what lesson plans does is it helps you to plan out exactly what the lesson is going to be so that you're not shooting from the hip and you are very intentional about what the experience is, the learning experiences that the students are going to receive. And I've learned that in life it is no different. We have to be super intentional with how we spend our time, how we spend our money, how we invest in people, like all the things. We cannot be fly by night and expect to get certain results. So this is all about how to operate intentionally to get specific results because honey, impulsiveness, it ain't it, sis. So, how did I get here? This was going to be the one time in 2025 that I tell you guys a story where my husband is right. You will never hear this again, so just, and husband, if you're listening, go ahead and rewind it as many times as you need to because it's one and done. So my husband is very, very, very routine. He operates in routines and he operates best in routines. And what I realized about that is he gets very consistent results because he operates in such a routine way. Like he legitimately wakes up in the morning, does the same things, even at night. he has a routine that allows him to have very specific outcomes, and it even makes our day go smoother in the morning when we're getting the boys ready to get out of the house. And he starts my car every morning. He asks me the same questions about whether or not I took my medicine, and just, honey, just be gathering me, like getting me all the way together. And it used to be like really annoying, let's be very clear, because for me, I'm like, I don't like, to have so much predictability. Or, well, I guess I do like to have predictability, but I didn't realize how important predictability was in like everyday life. And I have this saying that I'm not sure who quoted it, but how you do anything is how you do everything. And so, what I realized about myself is that if I desire predictable results in one area, then I can't be willy nilly in other areas and expect to have, a different behavior when I address or attack other things. And so I've been working on my routines so that I can have better results and more consistent results, and even more specifically, predictable results as it relates to my day, how I spend my time, and the output and the outcomes that I desire to see in 2025. So I'm going to give you guys 3 strategies that I know have helped me thus far, and I know will help you as well. The first one is, says, you got to develop a routine. I know. I know. For those of us who like to have, you know, flexibility in our day, actually, if you really think about it, having a routine allows you to have the most flexibility, because you have certain things that are routine, so you can predict how much time it's going to take and what energy is required and all the things, right? So if you have that routine in place, it does allow you to be more flexible in other areas. It's just that we don't always see it that way. But you definitely have to develop a routine in order to have specific results, right? I've learned ever since I became a mom, and I have fought tooth and nail about this, but I've learned that my time is not my time anymore. And even when I say that I'm going to do one thing, sometimes because I have small children, that shifts. Insert my baby Joshua, who will decide what time he wants to wake up in the morning, 3:30, 2:30, 4. And what that has done is made me realize that, hey, I don't have my own time anymore, so I have to be super intentional about the flexible time that I do have, especially at night, and even early in the morning when it's possible, to be able to have specific results. Because, baby, I got goals and I have God given business that I got to tend to, right? So, I'm in the process of testing out a specific routine where in the morning I wake up at 4 a.m. and I have it written down. I don't have it in front of me, but it's reading my word, reading for 20 minutes. Right now, I'm reading Atomic Habits by James Clear. And this is like my third time reading it, by the way, and I love it, love it, love it. I'll link it, so that you can get it too. But it's helping me to get, through the book every morning, because I've developed a routine that I read for 20 minutes, and then even at night, being really really specific and intentional about the setup for the next day. So making sure that my clothes are out and prepared. If I have to iron, those things are done, so it takes no time away from my morning, because the morning, honey, is very short. What else do I do at night? Being specific about what I do each night. So I don't cook every day. I designate one day to do groceries, one day to do cooking. And what I've even started to do is order my groceries. So I'll ask my husband, hey, what do you want to eat this week? I'll usually, or next week, because I'll ask him like on a Thursday. That allows me a couple of days to order the groceries or even go to the grocery store, pick up groceries, and then prepare to cook. Before, cooking used to be such a chore, but since I've developed this kind of routine, it's really made things a lot easier because I have predictability. I know, all right, now, tonight, this is the night that I'm going to be cooking. Let me get a little coffee so that I can get myself together and not be having an attitude while I'm cooking, right? So, all of those things. Here are my top 5 reasons why you struggle with inconsistency. Are you ready for them? Number 1, fear of failure or success. 2, overwhelm and lack of clarity. 3, perfectionism and self doubt. 4, unhealed trauma and limiting beliefs. 5, lack of accountability and support. Notice how none of them have anything to do with your time management, efficiency, or productivity. Sis, it is likely that you are struggling due to one of these areas, and I created an ebook to turn each of them on their heads. I prayed and asked God to give me this specifically for you, and like the God He is, He delivered. And best of all, it's free. Comment press go and I will send it to you. Or you can go to pressgo.goforitsis.com to download your free copy today. I love you, and I'm praying that you will have your best year to date simply because you are taking bold steps forward in the area of consistency. Um, and there's some other things that I do, but those are the big things, right? So sis, you have to develop a routine. I know, I know, I can hear you. But it's going to give you so much time back. It's going to allow you to get very specific results, because you can begin to predict your outcomes. Okay, I know on Monday I'm going to accomplish this, and on Tuesday I'm going to accomplish that. Like, it really helps you to have just better better results overall. And then you can know when you have flexible time to be able to do things that maybe your routine doesn't call for. um Not to mention, like, you may want to do you may want to insert some self-care, right? Build it into your routine, like all the things that you want to do, build it into the routine so that everybody and everything else has to adjust to that. And I'll leave that at that. Number 2, write down your intentions every single day. You have to be intentional about every single day because it matters. That time that you spend on a daily basis, you want to be as intentional as possible so that you get and you feel more accomplished with your day. It provides receipts that you need in order to substantiate that you're doing everything that you set out to do. Like, it really helps you to collect wins. You've got to write down your intentions. Here's what I do. I have a daily intentions planner that I created years ago that I literally give away for free. So I'll link that below. But it allows me to be so productive. And I use it predominantly at work, because I have flexibility in my time, but I have a lot that I need to to accomplish even in a day. So I schedule mine out by the periods of the school because I'm a school administrator. So I schedule it out by the periods, and every single period I've assigned a task that I need to do, including lunch, including when, I do certain things, or certain things that may be, routine every week. I schedule it out so I know exactly what time I have in the day. This has helped me tremendously. I've even adopted it in that same model in my home life. It's how I'm able to identify what I can get done in a day. Okay, so you really want to be intentional and use a daily intentions planner. You don't have to use mine, but you are welcome to. And again, I will link that below for you. It's free. But for those of us who have shiny object syndrome, or we look up and see something we want to do and completely forget about the things that we said we was gonna set in our heads that we were gonna accomplish in the morning, honey, writing it down really does allow you to be focused and then stay intentional about your day. So that's what the writing it down will do.
Hey, so sorry. I had to interrupt really quickly to tell you about an amazing resource that is betterhelp.com, which is an online therapy service that I can speak for. When I tell you talking to a licensed therapist has helped me get to the root of my issues, sis, you definitely want to jump on this. BetterHelp will match you with your own licensed professional therapist, and you can start communicating in under 24 hours. There's a broad range of experts on the network, so you do not have to worry about what you want to discuss. There is somebody who is waiting to talk to you. I promise you, this could be the best conversation that you ever have. Visit betterhelp.com/POP and start that conversation today. It may be the best and most important conversation that you have in your life. That's betterhelp.com/POP. BETTERHelp.com/POP. Okay, let's get back to the show.
Okay. Number three, sis, make a decision. I have talked about it on this podcast before, but we have to get into the habit of making decisions. Okay. And I don't mean just any decisions, but I mean calculated decisions, decisions that are data based, that you have receipts for. I remember not too long ago, actually, I was vacillating on a couple of ideas and trying to decide, like, which way do I want to go in my business. And I said to myself, what does the data show? Like, I know I got this idea, but here's what you got to realize: every idea that God gives you may not be for the season that you're currently in. So, yes, write them down. Know that it is a download. Know that it can be useful and it is a gift, but it may not be for this season. You know how sometimes we get gifts, so we buy things out of season, right? It's the same thing. It may be for something down the line. So write it down, but you have to look and weigh what you are doing, how you are setting your intentions, and how you're making decisions based off of something. And I choose to use, especially in business, as I'm testing different things, I'm looking at what the data shows and I'm moving on that. So, to be very concrete, when I was running ads for my business and for my hoodie line, Go For It Sis, so I have a whole collection. I collected a lot of data about my audience and who's buying from me and who, what age group of woman, what demographic of women support my brand and support my brand with their money, right? And so that informed me to be able to make a decision about how I want to roll, what products I want to roll out, what's going to be best, what's going to best serve the audience that I have. And I'm constantly testing and I'm making decisions based on that, not based on what I feel like I used to, not based on what, I think is right like I used to and like so many of us do, right? And it's fine to start there because sometimes you don't know, but that's why you test and then you make decisions based on the data that you are collecting. I need to tell you this right now. Some of you have stopped collecting data. You keep stopping. How do I know? Because you is me. And sometimes I do it too. And that lack of consistency, it really sets us back. It is why I have dived so deeply into consistency. I wrote an ebook about it, which I will link below, because that, that like inconsistency will keep you one stuck, two, and most importantly, it'll keep you away from your God given business and the things that God has desired for you to do. And so, if you struggle from inconsistency, I have a free ebook that I want to be able to send you so that, or I have a free ebook that I want you to be able to download so that you can break free from inconsistency and get to your God given business. So make sure that you check the link below. It's pressgo.goforitsis.com to be able to download your free ebook and baby break up with inconsistency. But I digress. I need you back in the game, sis. You've got too much in you. You've got too much in you to be impulsive. And the God that you serve, there's nothing impulsive about him. As a matter of fact, he's very calculated and very intentional. And so, just like he created you and you were created in his image, you have the capacity to also be intentional. You just have to apply yourself, apply the strategies that I've given today, developing a routine, writing down your intentions, and commit to making data-based decisions. Those three things right there are going to help you to operate intentionally and get very specific results. It's going to help you to keep going because you're going to be collecting data that's going to not only motivate and encourage you to keep going, but it's going to help you understand and know what the next step is. It's going to give you clarity about how you need to move next. And so whatever it is that you desire to do, if it's, sharing more on social media, if it's becoming a content creator, if it's opening a business, if it's the next decision that you need to make in business, if it's something that you need to do at home, if it's a decision or if it's a lifestyle change, whatever it is, you want to be really, really intentional about it. And so I've given you some strategies today. I hope that they were helpful for you. Let me know. Okay, you can leave a comment or just let me know how you felt about this particular episode. And I would love, love, love to hear more from you. Okay, I love you. I will see you very, very soon. And yeah, love you. Take care. Go for it, sis.